Hey, thanks for checking out the Gust of Wind podcast. This is Steuben, and I just want to say thank you for all of your support in the last episode. And, I wanted to give you guys a heads up on this one. We do have a translator in this one. We do have a international interview here. So there is a little bit of background noise, a little bit of audio clippage, but the conversation still gets through. The message is still able to be heard. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up in advance. But thank you for checking us out, and hopefully enjoy the episode with IODETO and the Ricardo Totti.
So Stew, what's up? How's it going?
It's going.
How's the
It's
shop
going.
this week? Everything good?
Yeah, I had a Digimon crowd today,
Digimon?
and yeah, we do Digimon on Sundays. I run a tournament, and I stay in the other room because sometimes they smell bad.
I mean, isn't that all card players?
No, no, because when I run Pokemon events, it doesn't smell bad.
Real quick, anyone watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify, if you hear a crying baby in the background, that is my child, 8-month-old Nathaniel. Anyone in the Twitch chat right now, we are recording a podcast. I see bits. If I see anything in the stream, I'll try to give you a quick little salute, or I'll nod my head real quick. But we can't really say much about it. I do see you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. But I'm joined with my co-host Steuben. Steuben, what's up, bro?
How's it going?
This is the Gust of Wind podcast. We have a special guest today, Stu, or two special guests. Two for the price of one. This is episode 2, correct?
Well, this is the second time we've done it, so yes.
Episode 2, two special guests. I think 2 is the theme today. If you guys want to drop me 200 bits in the chat, feel free. No, okay. We are joined by Ricardo Totti, the Ricardo Totti, and by one of my best friends, IODETO. Ricardo, how are you?
I'm
Ricardo,
fine.
como você tá? Pode responder em português aí eu traduzo. Se você quiser responder no desenvolto aí em inglês, fica à vontade.
Não, meu desenvolto é horrível. Eu estou bem, graças a Deus. Obrigado pelo convite.
Okay? So Todd just said that he's fine, and he's thanking you guys for inviting him for participating in this episode of Gust of Wind.
Right.
Yeah, we wanted to, give you guys some limelight, especially with his big second place finish at the regionals. And the last weekend, it was awesome. And to my knowledge, it was his first event, right?
E é- e
Ah,
é- Pode falar, Yodet.
eu ia dizer que ele estava dizendo que tava te elogiando pelo seu resultado, né? E tinha
Uhum.
perguntado se talvez esse fosse seu primeiro evento.
Não, na verdade, esse é o meu terceiro regional. Porém, com o evento, minha posição mais alta foi esse de fato. Mas eu já venho jogando desde 2017 por internacionais, outros torneios. Pode falar pra eles.
Okay, so Todd just said that this is his third regionals. He started in 2017, but this is the regional that he got the highest position. So
Okay. I don't remember where, but I believe somebody it was like, "Oh, that's his first event." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's awesome." But now I'm glad we actually we know now for sure.
Well, that's why we brought him on, so we could hear from the man himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's still no matter what, first or not, many events later, it's still an impressive finish, especially coming out of like a lot of online success with all the limitless tournaments too.
Yeah.
okay, deixa eu traduzir. Let me translate for him. Eles continuam te elogiando, né, pela sua trajetória, inclusive nos torneios
Thank
online.
you.
Então eles acham impressionante o fato de você ter conseguido o segundo lugar, que foi uma boa posição, né, tendo em mente o
Sim.
tamanho do torneio e tudo mais.
Falar pra eles que por conta de muito treino e esforço a gente conseguiu chegar lá. E claro, o apoio do pessoal, como eu sempre digo, né? Eu acho que é o mais importante é você, acima de qualquer coisa, se divertir, né? Que é o que eu foco nisso.
Okay, so Ricardo just said that he thanks for his training, all the effort he puts in the game, and all the people that supports him. That's why he got second place. He wants to thank all the people that in some way helped him get this position, the second place in Sao Paulo regionals.
And if anyone's wondering what's going on, we have Ricardo Totti. Took second place in the last weekend's regional in Brazil, and this is IODETO who's helping us translate. Ricardo understands some of what we're saying, but Io's here to make sure nothing gets lost in translation. So Ido, thank you for your time. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, Mr. Gazer. Here to help
Thank
everyone that needs help. So,
And both of these people, they stream on Twitch. All four of us stream on Twitch as well. But Ricardo Totti is on Twitch. So is IODETO, Steuben, and myself. We're recording this live on Twitch right now. This is the Gust podcast. I'm Gazering2K. Steuben is my co-host. Or am I your co-host, Steuben? How's this work?
I think we should stop breaking the fourth wall so much.
I'm just reminding everyone what they're listening to. But Ricardo, we have a lot of questions for you.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's get it.
tem perguntas para você, Ricardo.
Steuben, you had a list. Go ahead. He's ready.
Yeah, so I wanted to know what made you pick Mew, other than it being like the best deck in format. How your matchups felt overall throughout the day, and just other, like, I guess, foreigner questions. Because, like, here we have Arcanine. Did you sign up for the event through Arcanine? Is it sort of the same software system that, everyone's kind of got going through? And for the venue and the stream, I wanted to ask a little bit about, but we'll do it a little bit at a time.
IODETO?
Ok. Então ele queria saber de você o porquê que você escolheu o Mew, além do poder dele, além de ser por causa do poder do deck atualmente, como foram suas matchups. E ele queria saber se a gente também se inscreve pelo Arcanine. You wanted to know if we register through Arcanine too, Steuben?
Yeah, and like the process, because I know there's a lot of hot takes on regional signups in general across the board.
Ok. Então é isso, Dodge. É isso mesmo.
Ele quer saber se a gente se inscreve no Arcanine. Diz pra ele que sim, é o mesmo registro que eles usam.
Sim. Só que ele queria entender um pouco mais o processo.
O processo é praticamente o mesmo do deles, né? A gente tem que se inscrever junto com o site da Copag. Diz pra eles que é desse jeito que funciona. E explica essa parte e depois eu explico sobre o meu.
Okay. Starting with Arcanine, we need to go through Copag. That's how we call it here in Brazil. That is the brand responsible for Pokemon here.
Oh, okay.
So you're tournament organizer, basically, then, right?
Yeah, we need to accept their site and then register on Arcanine.
Okay. So it's a similar process. And then, how many players were there, and how fast did it fill up, if it did?
Ele quer saber quantos jogadores tiveram e quanto tempo durou. Isso a gente falou ali no iniciozinho, mas eu acho legal você responder de novo.
A gente fala. Olha, a princípio, se a gente não tivesse na pandemia de Covid, eu teria certeza que daria 800 jogadores para cima. Mas, como a gente está em pandemia, foi em torno de 300 e as inscrições demoraram 10 minutos. Vou falar para eles.
Okay, so he said that it was around 300 players and it took like 10 minutes. It took like 10 minutes, and he said too that if it were not for the pandemic, probably we would have like 100 players.
Okay. In just the Masters division or across all?
Across all.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So registration isn't. It's a problem everywhere, apparently, then, with like the amount of people who want to play the game. So it's actually a problem, but I also feel like it's a good thing to see so many people around the world who want to play Pokemon.
Ele está dizendo que o processo de registro nos torneios pode ser um problema, mas eu acho que,
I agree.
que eles pensam talvez dificultar, entre aspas, né, dessa maneira para que tenha uma organização maior devido à quantidade de pessoas pelo mundo que querem jogar o evento, né?
Sim. Se a gente pudesse ter uma forma de poder divulgar melhor o trabalho, tivesse mais pessoas ali interessadas em colocar, né, mais gente para trabalhar e trazer mais disso, com certeza ia poder comportar mais pessoas. E claro, essa pandemia ela tem que acabar logo, né? Essa acho que é a pior parte.
Okay. He said that if we had more people working and how do I say this? Uh, like sharing the word, like telling, presenting the game for other people, like having a bigger community to play the event, we probably would have more people playing. And he said that pandemic was the problem for not having more people playing the regional.
Yeah, space constraints most likely, and COVID protocols like the 6 feet and the table spacing.
In a weird way, I think the pandemic's actually it might have helped because it's gotten more people interested in wanting to play. I played a lot online, and I never played in real life. But then being cooped up and having to stream more and play more online, now I want to play in real life. So I think there's a few people who came from online or trying to play in real life, and just it's a great thing that a lot of people are interested in this card game now.
O Gazer disse que ele acredita que, apesar da pandemia ter sido algo ruim, ela de certa forma pode ter impactado no interesse das pessoas pelo jogo, porque muita gente conheceu pelo online, né? Se interessou pelo online e ficou com vontade de jogar o físico. E aí
Concordo plenamente com ele.
E talvez nesse retorno dos regionais e dos eventos físicos, esse número, essa vontade, né? esse esgotamento dos ingressos tão rápido, talvez tenha sido devido a esse interesse.
Eu concordo plenamente com ele e eu acho que também aumentou muito em relação ao número de colecionismo. A gente tem muito mais pessoas hoje colecionando do que antes da pandemia. A tendência é só aumentar, principalmente se o pessoal que faz streaming junto com o pessoal que já joga o físico se juntarem. Passa isso para ele.
Okay. Gazer, he totally agrees with you about the pandemic topic being a factor that helped the community grow and people getting interested in those events.
Exactly.
And he said that probably people collecting too, like collectors finally started to have some interest in playing the physical game. That's it, basically.
Yeah,
No.
I agree with that. I've had collectors at work. I work at a card shop for anybody who doesn't have the context on it. And I've had a few collectors start asking about playing and learning how to play and started buying like multiple copies of cards to build decks with and so on and so forth. So I definitely agree with that.
That's me. I just started going to my local card shop and just started playing locally. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
O Stuben falou que ele pôde vivenciar isso, né? Na loja dele lá, tiveram alguns colecionadores que tiveram interesse em jogar o físico justamente pelo que você falou.
Não, mas é isso mesmo. Vamos seguindo pra gente poder falar do Mil, que o pessoal deve estar interessado muito em saber.
Todd wants to talk about Mew, about why he chose Mew to play the regionals.
Yes, for sure.
I heard that part. I understand that. Mew.
And talk about basically his run on Sao Paulo's regionals. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're definitely interested.
Yeah, I had a quick question. So Ricardo, you decided to take Mew to the regional, but I see you all the time online, even recently on Twitter, talking about Arceus. But you took Mew.
Arceus.
Yeah, why Mew?
Just I love this deck.
Você entendeu, Felipe?
Ele falou que sempre posto coisas sobre Arceus e perguntou por que eu escolho o Mew, não é?
Ele sempre vê você jogando os torneios com outros decks e tudo mais, e postando seus resultados com outros decks. E por que você escolheu o Mew para jogar o regional?
Eu acho que por uma questão de simplicidade, né? Ao meu ver, ao meu estilo de jogo, eu sou uma pessoa muito ansiosa. E o Mew é um deck que compra muito rápido os recursos. Então, devido a isso, eu joguei de uma maneira... Eu quis escolher um deck que fosse tão rápido e tão forte quanto. E o Mew era exatamente o que eu queria. Ele é basicamente um conjunto de tudo criado de bom dentro do Pokémon TCG. Fala isso aí pra eles.
Okay, so he just said that he chose Mew because it is a simple deck and he's a really anxious people. So deck plays really fast, so it kinda goes with his vibe, and uh, it's probably just that I just make a resume of what he said.
Ricardo, I
He's
have
a
a question. Um,
Just?
what were some of your first matchups? Tell us about some of your first couple matchups that you had.
ok. Ele quer saber das suas primeiras partidas que você teve no torneio.
Tá. A minha primeira partida foi contra Arceus com Darks, né? Com o Baby Moltres. Inclusive, o Baby Moltres é um demônio na minha vida. Eu odeio Baby Moltres. I just hating Baby Moltres. Eu... eu odeio Baby Moltres. E eu sofri para ganhar ali, mas meu oponente acabou travando muito no segundo jogo e no terceiro, então acabei conseguindo fazer os knockouts antes dele conseguir montar a mesa rápido. Passei para ele.
Ele falou que he said that his first match was against Arceus, Dark Fiesta, like Baby Moltres and other dark attackers. He said that he hates Baby Moltres.
Yeah.
Because
we understood that.
yeah, it's a really strong card against Mivimax.
Card is toxic.
It's toxic.
He said that I think it was the first game my opponent just bricked a little bit. Then he got the second and third game. That's it? That's it, Todd. Você venceu o primeiro jogo, o oponente meio que brincou, né? E você venceu os outros dois jogos, foi isso?
Sim, foi mais ou menos isso. O segundo jogo, o meu oponente ele baixou mais que 2 Arceus na mesa, que deu pra fazer boss.
Okay. He said that the second game was kind of easier because opponent played 2 Arceus too early, and then he just need to go for boss and game.
Yep. Baby Moltres is scary. I play against that thing regularly, and I'm not even weak to it, but I'm so scared of that, getting down to one prize and at 270 and just like, it's scary.
Yeah, it's really threatening, especially like where even if they throw it away early in the game, like you have like the anxiety of like, oh man, I know it's in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
They could get it back with Ordinary Rod or Clara at any point in time, and then just slap it down and switch and just take you out. So like it's definitely like it is a nail biter of a card. When you see them throw it away early in the game, you have to really be mindful about your prize trade going forward from there.
Yeah, it's always in the back of my head whenever I play against it. I'm like, is it going to come now? Where is it? What's happening?
E ambos os games falaram do quão forte a carta é, né? E de como ela é uma carta que, mesmo na mesa, ela põe pressão e mesmo no descarte também. Então, é uma carta
Clara,
que...
no caso?
Não. O Moltres.
Sim.
É uma carta que põe um certo medo em você, justamente por ela estar ali, né? Presente.
Exatamente.
No jogo, descarte na mesa.
Quando o oponente geralmente abre com o Baby Moltres, você se sente mais tranquilo, né? Porque você já sabe que um deles já foi eliminado. Mas, no geral, é exatamente isso.
He's saying that he feels a bit better when the opponent just opens with Baby Moltres active.
Yeah, then they have to manually attach or like scoop it up and waste resources. Yeah.
That's it.
Super, I know you had a couple more questions, didn't you?
That was pretty much like the majority of what I wanted to ask, like the sign up procedure. We've covered all that, and we've figured out why he likes the deck and why he picked it. I guess now that it's been over a week, first of all, how do you feel?
Yes.
And if you could go back in time and do it again, would you change anything in your list for that event specifically?
Então, Todd, ele está perguntando, já faz uma semana, como você se sente com relação ao torneio, ao seu desempenho, a tudo que aconteceu? E se você pudesse voltar no tempo, o que você mudaria na lista?
Cara, eu vou falar que em relação ao meu sentimento, a minha vida essa última semana mudou de cabeça para baixo, né? O número de pessoas que estão me parabenizando, tem gente me dando parabéns até agora, eu tô sem acreditar. E principalmente, se eu pudesse voltar no tempo para trocar a lista, eu teria colocado principalmente o Berrante. O Berrante faz muita falta, é Echo Horn. Teria colocado porque faz muita falta e me daria uns tapas por estar nervoso na final.
Okay. So he said that his life changed a lot because now a lot of people knows him, and a lot of people are congratulating him about his second place. And he said too that if he could change something in the list, if he could go back in the past and changing something in the list, it would be Echoing Horn, probably.
Adding it or removing it?
Adding it.
Adding it. Okay. In place of what card?
Hot on phone. Just hot on phone. 3 hot on phones.
Instead of 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I like it.
I was in an online tournament, maybe close to 3 weeks ago, and I was doing really well. I had the Mew matchup, and I threw away all my Urshifu. I'm playing single strike, by the way, so I threw away all my Urshifu.
I love single strike.
It's fun. It's strong. I threw away all my Urshifu.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. But yeah,
I just inconsistent, but it's beautiful.
It is inconsistent. It is. But I kept my Umbreons, I kept my Houndooms because of weakness. I'm playing against Mew. So I threw all my Urshifus away. Yep. And out of nowhere, they played Echoing Horn. And I'm like, what? And they bossed up my Urshifu. And I'm like, what? And they went off of that. And that really blew my mind. I was like, I hadn't seen it. That didn't start getting played until about a month ago, about 4 weeks ago. And I hadn't seen it until about 3 weeks ago. And I was like, huh? So Echoing Horn is that's a good call.
Yeah, that's a really good call.
Yeah, as of recent, I feel like there's been a lot of cards that people have been playing that they've kind of like neglected during the online era with open deck lists. And I like closed deck lists so much more because it allows for you to be creative and have tech cards without, your cover being blown open by an open deck list.
Yeah, that's true.
Começando pelo Gazer, ele disse que ele tá falando do deck dele, né, de Urshifu Single Strike. Ele teve uma experiência ruim com relação ao Echoing Horn, e foi justamente o oponente puxar um Urshifu dele no momento ali do jogo e vencer. E o Stuben falou sobre a parte negativa que é a gente jogar os torneios online e ter listas abertas, né? Porque isso acaba entregando uma estratégia do seu jogo ali, que às vezes o oponente não está preparado, né?
Eu acho que, na verdade, a parte ruim dos torneios online não é nem questão das listas abertas, é mais o fato de ser melhor de um. Porque você simplesmente abre com aquelas mãos horríveis de online e perde o jogo. Então eu acho que essa é a pior parte, sem dúvida. A lista aberta, lógico que ela tira o fator surpresa, atrapalha bastante, mas eu acho que o fato de ser melhor de um é o que realmente entrega o Pokémon TCG Online. Aí você passa isso pra eles, que depois eu vou contar uma história sobre o Echoing Horn rápida que aconteceu comigo essa semana.
Okay, so Todd just said that for him, it's the open deck list is not like the big problem. For him, the big problem is the best of one games. Because if you start really bad, you're probably just losing to the tournament already.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I don't bother playing in online tournaments anymore, because 90% of them they're all best of one.
Yeah.
And locally here, when cups would happen before everything shut down, most of the cups would be best of one, and then you'd go to best of 3 top cut. And it feels like a better game when you're playing best of 3, going back and forth and being able to react to your opponent or being able to come back from a brick or just a really bad matchup where like you can kind of like change your mindset going into it afterwards.
Yeah, no doubt.
Deixa eu só traduzir. Let me just translate really fast. Ele só disse que ele disse basicamente que teve experiências ruins também com relação aos torneios melhor de um, e que ele prefere inclusive jogar o físico por isso, porque normalmente
eu também.
So he agrees, Steven, that ERL tournaments, best of 3s, are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just started playing recently in real life, and the first time I went to one, it was best of 3, and I was like, that's a lot of games. This is going to take a while. But I'm glad I had it because I had my single strike deck, and I had played Mew, and I bricked. and Mew beat me the first game. But I came back and beat it the next 2 games. So it was best of 1. I would have been done for. And then on the other side, the next week, we had to have a shorter tournament, so we did do best of 1, just 3 rounds. And I ran into Suicune. And I'm over benching, I'm putting too much down. I'm like, what am I doing? So if I had 2 more games, I could have played that better. But I lost that game. I won the other 2, but I lost that one just because I just benched everything. Like
O Gabe está dizendo aqui, Todd, que outra coisa que é bem ruim também dos torneios de melhor de 1 é que você é muito punido por jogar um pouquinho errado na sua primeira match.
Sim.
Nos melhores de 3, assim, você pode se adaptar ao longo do jogo, né?
Sim,
sim. 3 jogos, se você vence o segundo, você vai para um terceiro, e aí você consegue se adaptar à match. No caso da melhor de 1, você não tem essa opção. Você tem que jogar certo desde a primeira match, né?
Sim, esse foi um dos motivos pelos quais eu escolhi o Mew também. Eu escolhi ele por conta disso. O Mew é um deck muito consistente e ele, pelo menos no online, ele te passa a impressão de ser um deck que trava muito menos que os outros. Então, por causa disso, para não ser punido dessa maneira, que eu optei continuar sempre jogando com o Mew.
Okay, so Todd just said that he too chose Mew VMAX to play on Sao Paulo regionals because the deck kind of forgives you for the little mistakes you make with it. So it was a safe kind of a safe choice for him because of that.
That's the power of Genesect.
Yeah, it's hard. It's harder to sequence Mew correctly, but if you do slip up, it is very forgiving. I agree.
Ele basicamente concordou com o que você falou, Tati.
Não, sim. 4 Genesect is broken. 4 Genesect is broken.
Totally.
Oh, it's a very dirty card.
Who thought?
This card is never useless.
Work hard, drawing.
It's more broken to ADP.
Genesect. But this is the Gust to Win podcast. Gazer Beam Steuben with Sao Paulo runner-ups Ricardo Totti, IODETO here, helping us translate. Io, question for you.
Yep.
You and Kato Plays, shout out to Kato Plays as well. You guys, there was a broadcast, but it wasn't official. There's no commentators, and you and Kato took it upon yourselves to commentate over it. What was that experience like for you?
Só pra galera que tá no chat aqui, pra dar o contexto da pergunta, ele me perguntou sobre a transmissão do torneio que eu e o Cato fizemos, né? Que não era oficial, né? Não era uma transmissão oficial, mas liberaram pra gente poder fazer a transmissão e comentar em cima, né? So it was a really cool day. Like, it was my first time doing something so big like that. It wasn't official, like I said, when you and Steuben were doing. I don't remember which person was here at the time. But I mentioned it in chat when you guys were doing another episode.
Yeah.
But it was thanks to Kato that we made it, because Kato knows the guy that got the images, like the guy responsible for filming the event, and he like sent him a message, asked him, could I stream the games and comment over it with IODETO? And the guy said he's yes, but we still needed the confirmation for Kopagi, like the brand responsible for Pokemon. So he had to reach out to them and ask if we could stream the games and everything. And they let us stream the game. It was like kinda easy. It was not easy because there was like a lot of conversations behind the scenes, but like it was nothing that stressful. You know?
It's a different experience, like commentating, than it is playing, let alone streaming and commentating your own actions. But I mean, like I you know, again, I don't
speak Portuguese, but I did watch, and you guys had a really good chemistry
Yes.
together, and you did really well, and the chat was engaged. It was very entertaining no matter what, and I could still kind of follow along only because I know the game well enough. But it was awesome to see you guys do that. So when you said you had to ask them or have them give you permission from, you said Copog. In terms of that, so what would happen in the case of, say, Azul doing what he was doing then too?
Yeah, it was a thing at the day because like there were people showing at in chat saying that we were not permitted to stream
Oh wow.
the games, and even someone at Copog reached out to us and said maybe it's not a good idea. Like at the beginning,
Wow.
someone reached out to us and said, maybe it's not a good idea to stream the games. Maybe you guys could get banned or something like this. But after some conversation, things went well, and we got to stream the games
Okay.
without any
So
problem. But
yeah, because normally I know like Twitch itself has a content policy where like you can't use someone else's content without explicit permission, even if you're attempting to create content over it. And the same thing is like for fair use and copyright law here in the United States, where like you have all these people who will dub over something else or whatever, where it's within fair use. But so basically, it could harm the other people who didn't get the blessing is what I'm understanding.
And there was quite a few people who streamed
There was,
and
I mean, there was,
commentated over it. There was a few of them. It wasn't
yeah,
just Azul.
there was a handful.
It was
No,
just
there was a lot
Kato
of
and
other-
IODETO. It was a few people. Yeah.
there was a bunch. I saw a handful of names across like every language on Twitch that they commentated and went over the stream as well.
yeah, in
So
a sense,
that's interesting.
in a sense, they should have asked the person responsible for the image, but the person itself didn't go after anyone. So in the end, it was fine.
Okay.
Was-
Okay. So they're very understanding about that. Then that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
probably. Yeah, probably.
I like that then. Okay. I'd always be afraid of like doing that over someone else's content, especially where like the regional's official, but we knew the stream wasn't. So I was still personally I would be afraid to do so.
Speaking of regionals, Ricardo, before this runner-up.
Can I just translate for people in chat?
Oh, of course.
Go ahead.
Então o Scooby entrou num assunto que foi, entre aspas, do direito de transmissão, né, galera? Para quem não acompanhou através de mim e do Cato a transmissão do Regional de São Paulo, soube provavelmente que o Azul estava transmitindo, né? O Azul GG, que é criador de conteúdo, jogador profissional de Pokémon também. E aí o Scooby estava me perguntando sobre o direito, né? Se houve algum problema, como é que a gente fez. E aí eu expliquei que a pessoa responsável pelas imagens é o Ruimar e a pessoa responsável pelo evento era a Copag, né? Os responsáveis pelo evento era a Copag. Então a gente, em tese, tinha que ter a permissão desses dois para que a gente pudesse streamar o evento. E aí o Stube me perguntou sobre se, teoricamente, seria certo outras pessoas terem streamado. E eu expliquei para ele que, tecnicamente, não, porque precisariam da permissão dessas duas pessoas, né? No caso da empresa Copag e do Ruimar, que é a pessoa detentora das imagens.
Posso falar um negócio aí, Ruideto?
Calma aí. Só que aí, tanto como o Ruimar como a Copag não criaram caso com a situação, a gente entende que estava tudo ok, no fim. Não tinha problema nenhum, não. Você pode adicionar o que você quiser aí, Todd.
Não, então, eu gostaria que no futuro não existisse esse tipo de proibição, porque a gente aqui no Brasil é muito carente de conteúdo comentado em português, e a gente está pegando bastante nesse momento de pandemia essas streamings que o pessoal dos outros países faz pra gente comentar por cima em português, que inclusive eu fiz isso no regional de Salt Lake e pretendo fazer isso quando tiver o de Indianápolis também, ou outros que vai acontecer aí. Que outras pessoas também façam isso, né? Que esse seja o começo para todo mundo.
Okay. So Todd just said that he wants that the other countries, the other people responsible for the tournaments in other countries do as Copag and Ruimar did, like permitting people to use the image because we kind of need some content here in Brazil. Like it's not common to see streamers and other people doing content with like regionals or other championships from outside Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that they should just push those broadcasts out. And even if like the Pokemon Company themselves hired a team to redub over what the commentators are saying in every language, even if it was like, maybe a week later the video went out on YouTube or something, I think that would be very good for everybody.
Talvez seria interessante até a Pokémon Company contratar tradutores, né? Para pessoas
Sim,
tradutores, comentaristas de outras línguas, nem que isso levasse talvez um tempinho a mais para ser lançado, tipo no caso aqui ele cita tipo uma semana, mas que tivesse o conteúdo em outras línguas, né?
sim, é muito importante. É muito importante porque a gente não tem praticamente nenhum torneio oficial pela Pokémon e que temos comentaristas oficiais, né? E a gente vai ter o internacional aí. Seria muito legal ter comentaristas aqui pra gente também. Quem sabe, né?
Yeah, he basically agreed with you, Steven, about it, like commentators and people streaming in other languages. And he said that it's really important.
It can, yeah, it can only help us grow, right?
Yeah, it can even just like me doing my locals every week. I mean, it only just helps it. It only helps it out and it helps it grow. I mean, I get less views live when I do locals than I do TCGO. I don't quite understand that. I don't know if that's something that I'm doing wrong or it's just like the Twitch meta. I feel like is not in that same direction for live play yet, and I feel like maybe after the season it might be better for everybody in general too.
Probably Twitch meta.
Yeah, not yet.
That's my guess.
I say in time. Because everyone's getting more excited about playing in real life, and I think in time it'll catch up.
And we see other communities working really well with IRL.
Sorry.
Like Digimon, most of the community stream like live games.
Oh, Digimon, yeah.
Yeah, yep. A lot of the Digimon people have been getting partner on Twitch just from webcam playtesting.
So I should start playing Digimon.
Blowing up.
We just need a bit of time still.
I think so.
I say so. One question for you, Ricardo. This wasn't your first regional. You said you played in 2 more before this. Where'd you rank in those last 2? Do you remember?
O Geyser queria saber qual foi o seu ranking nos regionais passados.
Top 16. Não, deixa eu ver se eu lembro. Acho que foi top 64 e 2 top 32.
2 top 32, but it was regionals. Foram regionais todos esses?
Yeah. Isso, foram 3 regionais. Esse é o quarto, na verdade. Falei terceiro, mas na verdade era o quarto.
So he's just updating with like he played 4 regionals actually. And this one he got second place, and the last three he got double top 32 and a top 64.
Okay, so yeah, definitely well accomplished already.
Thank you.
Hey, more than I've ever done. More than me. I took top 9 when I was like 10 years old once. I was like number 9 in like a small citywide tournament. So more than me. We had a question from the stream for you guys. I guess for all of us. And I won't hold you guys up much longer, Io and Ricardo. The question came from a friend of ours, Supersonic. Supersonic's also a streamer. He says, you watch other international events. What's the biggest difference from tournaments around the world? Comparing, example, Liverpool and Sao Paulo and others. So, I guess all the different regionals. I guess what's the difference between all of them? What do you guys think?
For me, I I don't play IRL because I can't afford right now IRL, but I think probably just the culture itself, maybe like how people behave. I don't know.
Hmm.
We are Brazilians are really like energetic people, and I think like British people in Liverpool are more like self-centered, like more calm and serious. I don't know. Maybe that's the big difference, like the culture, the culture itself,
I
how
see.
people behave and things like that. I don't think the game itself is like that different. There is like difference in index, like because sometimes prices plays its part. Like in Brazil, people usually go like the majority of people usually go for uh, affordable decks. So
Yeah.
we see a lot of Malamar when we had like Malamar, the other Malamar that accelerates energy with Giratina. That was a
Oh,
big deck. That was a
okay.
big deck here. So things like that. I think that's the big.
So like Vespiquen Flareon, was that really big too there?
I don't remember, Steven.
Okay.
Probably Todd can answer that, and I will ask him. Todd, você, né? Eu respondi
Ah,
de maneira que é de grande diferença, na minha opinião, de torneios estrangeiros para os nossos torneios aqui nacionais. Talvez seja o comportamento das pessoas. Eu falo de comportamento no sentido de cultura mesmo. Os brasileiros eles são um pouco mais energéticos, né? Mais
sim,
calor. E a galera, por exemplo, de Liverpool, a galera britânica, eles são mais equilibrados, mais quietinhos, mais na deles, mais sérios com o jogo, assim, compenetrados.
sim.
Eu falei que outras diferenças que poderiam haver talvez seriam com relação aos decks, porque o valor, né, do jogo em si tem um papel muito importante, né, para a
Sim.
galera da comunidade que joga o jogo.
Tem um papel fundamental pra gente aqui no Brasil, na verdade.
E aí foi por isso que, inclusive, eu citei o deck do Malamar atualmente, né, o Rapid
Sim,
Strike, e citei também o Malamar antigo com Giratina. E aí o Stubin
isso.
queria saber para você, de você, o que você pensa a respeito.
Eu concordo praticamente com tudo que você falou. Os brasileiros eles são muito mais energéticos. O foco geralmente do brasileiro é querer quebrar o meta. Ele sempre quer jogar com aquilo que está vencendo lá fora. Aquilo que está muito popular lá fora, acaba o brasileiro aqui ele quer ter uma resposta para cada coisa. Geralmente esse é o ponto, assim. E o resto é exatamente o que você falou. O pessoal de fora geralmente é mais concentrado. O brasileiro aqui ele é mais querer quebrar tudo, né? Mais querer counterar o meta todo e a questão financeira. O pessoal geralmente vai com o Malamar por ser um deck de baixo custo, né?
He Todd just agreed with me about the financial topic
Hmm.
of the next, and he agreed to with the culture side of things. Like he agrees that people like the British people are more like serious and concentrated in the matches, and we
Yeah.
are more like energetic. And he adds that here in Brazil we want to break the meta, like we want to counter things, like what is doing really well outside Brazil. So Brazilians really try to break the meta, and we can use an example as like Ian Fukuda's deck that revolved around
Yeah.
Leafeon and Urshifu, Moltres. I don't
Yeah,
remember if
I
it's
thought that was a very different and unique take for sure.
I was waiting to see Sylveon in that deck. I'm like, where's Sylveon? Where is it? There should be a Sylveon in there somewhere.
that's it.
Steuben, what's your
So,
take on the difference between all the
uh,
regionals? What do you think?
well, I wanted to follow up with what we were just talking about before I dive into that.
Okay.
But are cards widely available and easily accessible in Brazil?
Make the make the question again.
Are cards widely accessible in Brazil? Like, is it easy to walk into a store and say get packs, or how are your singles markets dealt with.
Arceus.
Like,
Ele tá
Arceus.
Não, não, ele tá
Eu
perguntando como é que é o mercado aqui no Brasil, se as cartas são acessíveis.
Na verdade, sim e não. Infelizmente, aqui no Brasil o colecionismo tomou muito conta do nosso mercado, então as pessoas estão comprando as cartas para revendê-las mais caro, e por causa disso acaba que no final fica só uma quantidade de pessoas com as cartas do meta. O restante fica sem poder jogar, tendo que ir para decks mais baratos, porque a carta que elas querem, vou usar de exemplo o Arceus, não tem disponível em lugar nenhum, e quando tem é muito caro. Passa isso para eles.
Okay, so he said that it's a yes and no answer because people collecting cards is a thing here in Brazil, and they usually like act like scalpers. Like they get the cards, hold them, and try to sell like for a high amount. So it's not that simple to get competitive cards. Even even more the ones like Arceus, that is a really collectible card. So Next is another really collectible card. So decks like that usually have some problems to gather to make.
IODETO.
Oi?
Falar pra eles assim que o meu deck de 1000 VMAX do regional foi inteiro emprestado, eu não tenho uma carta.
Yeah, Todd just said that as an example, his Max deck was borrowed from someone else. Like it's not his deck. Like it's not his.
That's actually a huge statement to make.
That's interesting.
That's big. That's really big. That definitely shows that they
That's
need to.
how accessible Pokemon.
Yeah, that's actually insane. Like,
that's interesting.
I know, like Mew isn't the cheapest here by any means.
No,
but it's not impossible if you're willing and able to spend on it. But to take it, to borrow it, to do that, like that's huge. That's huge. That's a massive statement on the fact that they either need to ramp up production for you guys, or they need to address something with like functioning reprint sets, or specified for that competitive market.
Yeah. O Stuber tá dizendo aqui que esse seu comentário foi algo muito assim espantoso para ele. Pelo visto eles não esperavam que por aqui fosse assim. E aí ele deu algumas possíveis soluções, né, com relação ao mercado aí, de talvez injetarem mais produtos ou criarem mais produtos relacionados ao competitivo, né, para que os jogadores competitivos tivessem mais acesso mais fácil, né, a essas cartas.
Então, o que acontece é que aqui no Brasil a Copag ela fala muito nas redes sociais dela que ela tá com falta de matéria, e como eu falei, o colecionismo aqui no Brasil tá muito alto. Então, quando eles produzem uma baixa quantidade de produtos. A galera aqui é colecionista, compra, e lojista para fazer os scalpers, né? Fazem o que tem que fazer de errado. E não só eu, mas eu vi vários comentários de vários jogadores grandes quando eu tava nas finais do regional, que o deck que eles estavam usando era emprestado. Então não foi só comigo, foi com muitas pessoas.
Yeah, Todd saying that he was not the only one that borrowed a deck. Like he just told that some players that got. Você lembra mais ou menos qual o resultado deles, Todd?
O próprio Ian Fukuda mesmo foi um cara que tava jogando com boa parte das cartas emprestadas, Dalton Acheta também, entendeu?
Like,
todo mundo tinha carta emprestada.
Like a lot of people that made top 16 were playing with borrowed cards.
That's actually insanely massive. Like I feel like the rest of us have no idea about that whatsoever.
No,
like
I have no clue.
No, I honestly I feel horrible for everyone that has to do that, and I feel bad because when a game isn't accessible, it struggles to grow. Like I understand there's always going to be a market and an economy of cards, and people trying to make ends meet of flipping. Like sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. But a game can't truly flourish if it's not accessible to everybody in some shape or form.
Yeah. Ele disse basicamente que isso mata o jogo, né, Todd?
Sim, aqui no Brasil, basicamente, muitas pessoas pararam de jogar, né?
Yeah. Todd saying that here in Brazil, a lot of people stopped playing because of that. Because how hard it is to get the cards.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, you have outlets like the internet's more expansive than it's ever been, so you can order stuff online, right? Hopefully, and they come through after a while.
I would assume there's import fees and taxes and all that kind of stuff, and they might be heavily regulated to import those cards.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you were like lucky enough, you maybe could not get taxed, but it usually happens, and it's like 50% of the price of the product. So
now, question for you.
Taxes, so that's a lot.
Question for you, Io and Todd and Toddy. And you guys may not know, but even with the imports and the taxes and all the fees and stuff like that, would it be cheaper buying the card as opposed to trying to buy it from a scalper who jacks up the price and charges way too much because he has only a few copies, in the whole area? You think that'd be cheaper, or do you think it's about the same? Or
okay, let me ask Todd, because maybe he can help me with this one. Todd, ele perguntou se você acha que comprar lá fora talvez saia mais barato, saia o mesmo valor do que comprar por aqui pagando os preços absurdos que às vezes a gente tem que pagar, porque a carta é muito cara, porque ela tem...
Entendi. Cara, definitivamente. Não só eu, como a maioria das pessoas que jogaram comigo, inclusive cito um deles que é o Gabs Valdívia, que tá aí no chat. A gente importou as cartas de fora. Eu vou falar que o que me ajudou de fato foi as premiações dos torneios online da Atlas, principalmente, né? E pra gente realmente compensa mais, porém a gente tem que ter alguém lá fora para trazer esse conteúdo pra gente, porque a taxa de importação é muito cara. É outra coisa que os impostos do nosso país é muito caro também.
Comentei com eles isso já. Todd just said that it's cheaper to buy outside Brazil, like importing those cards. And he said that a lot of people bought, like Gabs Valdívia, that is in chat. He's a player. He's a professional player too. He's in chat. And Todd said that what really helped him with this was his the prices that he got from Atlas playing the online event.
Okay. So like the Atlas is store credit.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is actually kind of a revelation, because I've noticed, and this like, I hope, please don't take this out of context. I've always noticed that there's more of a South American population in the Limitless tournaments than anyone else. Like, it's unprecedented. There's so many more South American players playing in Limitless tournaments, and now I understand. I get it now. I completely get it now. So basically, you guys have a hard time getting codes and cards themselves.
Exactly. And Todd just said that what we really need right now is someone to bring those cards from outside to Brazil. Like, when we import cards, we need someone to be there to bring it to us so it doesn't get taxed.
Okay, so to follow up,
another problem that is this
with American regionals, and I'm assuming with Canadian and UK and everywhere else, we have vendors that come in. Did you guys have vendors that have singles available at the event and sleeves and stuff?
Yeah. Todd, só para confirmar com você aqui, o Stube perguntou que lá fora, né, nos eventos estrangeiros, tem vendedores que vendem singles e tudo mais, cartas no evento, para ajudar a galera a fechar o deck no dia do torneio. Ele queria saber se a gente tem isso no Brasil. Eu sei que a gente tem, né?
Então, a gente tem, mas entra novamente aqui a questão do... Assim, eu não tô falando por todos, mas infelizmente aqui no Brasil, como o nosso dinheiro é pouco valorizado, então a galera meio que faz de tudo pra conseguir tudo mais alto, né? A gente tem pessoas que vendem sim as coisas dos torneios para nós, porém, geralmente os preços são meio abusivos também, tá? Mas é uma coisa bem aleatória, assim. E a Copag em si, ela proíbe que a gente venda qualquer tipo de carta dentro do evento. A gente é obrigado a vender fora.
So he just said that there are people that sells cards at events like singles and other things, but they usually practice a high price. So like the cards are really overpriced, and you can't sell the cards inside the event like indoors
to other players, right?
Yeah,
That's forbidden everywhere else too. That's a Pokemon company like rule. You can't solicitate to anyone else.
and he had
And
said that okay, so you can talk.
and so are the vendors at your events, is that Copag also being the vendor?
Ele tá perguntando se só tem vendedores lá ou a Copag também vende.
Não, então, a Copag ela não vende nada, ela só fica responsável pela organização. Geralmente, tem lojas que são parceiras da Copag que vendem lá dentro. Geralmente 2, 3 lojas.
Okay. So he said that Copag don't sell cards inside there. They are just responsible for the event. But Copag name two two stores to be selling on the event.
Okay.
They have the permission to sell on the event.
So that, yeah, I asked that because sometimes, depending on the event, and it also depends on the game. So say, for example, the Digimon Fest that just happened in Florida and Texas over the past month. Those events were ran by tournament organizers who are also stores themselves, and those stores were the only vendors involved in that event as well. So like, I feel like they're kind of like double dipping a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that like it wasn't the people who was running the event also dipping into the vending and such.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I had no idea. I had no idea it was that difficult. But
yeah,
hopefully,
I mean it. I feel like outside. I don't know, because of language barriers. I feel like us getting to hear this from them it's a massive eye opener. It really is.
yeah.
I feel disgusted for you guys. I do.
Yeah. That's what we have to go through to play the IRL events.
Yeah,
So,
Io, you say you're not playing in real life now, and I see why now.
Yeah, I get it. I do. I understand now. I
can't afford ELL play, so I can't. Right now I can't, but I understand people that try to thrive in the game, and like Dodgy, making the top 2 in regional. Yeah, man, claro, cara, você conseguiu fazer o top 2 aí no regional e tá virando o jogo, né, mano? Você já vai receber uma graninha aí, então...
Mas demora. Vai demorar em torno de 3 meses pra receber alguma coisa.
Mas tá acontecendo, pô, é isso que eu tô falando. Eu não tenho essa grana pra começar a brincar, tá ligado? Arriscar.
Mas mesmo assim, IODETO, não é barato a gente manter esse jogo aqui no Brasil. Não é barato.
E eles, inclusive, eles estão surpresos com isso. Eles estão enojados.
Fala pra eles que a gente tem muita dificuldade, principalmente porque o nosso booster vem só 6 cartas. A gente tem a questão também da baixa tiragem de cartas, né? Que você já comentou. Para eles, o dinheiro dos torneios online é pequeno, não sei. Mas pra gente é quase 3 vezes mais o valor. Então, por isso que tem muito brasileiro jogando torneio online.
He's saying that another problem is that our products here, they get booster packs, gets 6 cards. É 6 cartas, né? O nosso booster.
Isso, yeah. Just 5 cards and 1 energy.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 cards, one of them is an energy. And he's saying that tournaments really help because usually it's US dollars, and the US dollars for us is 3 times our currency. So if we get $10, it's like 30, 30 Brazilian real.
So basically, the prize money is really, really good then for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even more if you get like top one, if you win the tournament, like a big one, like GG2 or
That's almost like not necessarily life changing, but moment changing money then.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you
I can
can
see
really
that.
invest in the game if you win a tournament like that.
Yeah, I was gonna make the point. Now, I see now why Ricardo plays in so many online events.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo's online so much because it gives him the chance to win the codes, which are more than 6 cards, and it gives him a
Yeah.
chance. To the big events like the GG Tour. You were just in that one, Ricardo, and if you had
Yeah.
won all of that, that's big time. I was gonna make the point though that I feel as if the fact that this was you know broadcast on Twitch, even though last week's tournament was broadcast on Twitch, even though it wasn't official, that put some eyes on Brazilian players over there. The fact that Ricardo, someone who's on Twitch so much, and we see him on Twitch in different tournaments, and he took second place, that put more eyes on everything. Ricardo, I saw your chat the other day. You had like 40 people in there. Normally your chat's around 20, 25, but you had 40. So I think just that second place finish, the fact that it was broadcast, even official or not, that's putting a lot of eyes towards you guys in a great light, in a good way.
O Gazer está dizendo que o fato de você ter topado o torneio, né, ter ficado em segundo lugar, o fato de você estar tão presente no top de torneios online, e o fato de você ter aparecido tantas vezes durante a transmissão do Regional de São Paulo, isso talvez trouxe mais olhos, né, para a comunidade brasileira, trouxe mais gente interessada pela comunidade brasileira, e isso é legal, né, de se ver. Ele inclusive comenta que você teve até um pequeno boom aí na quantidade de pessoas te assistindo. Ele falou que normalmente você tem ali uma média de 25, 30 pessoas. Esses dias ele viu umas 40 e tanto na sua live.
Sim, exatamente. Eu cheguei a ter 63 quando eu tava divulgando, quando eu tava streamando o regional de Salt Lake. Cheguei a ter mais ou menos isso. Eu espero que esse seja o começo para que a gente, como comunidade de Pokémon TCG, se una, né? Para que a gente possa crescer cada vez mais, porque assim, os brasileiros são jogadores muito bons, em sua maioria são excelentes, é mesmo as condições financeiras de cada um que não faz que a gente possa crescer e que muita gente que não olha pra gente com bons olhos, infelizmente, por conta de trapaceiros e coisas do gênero, mas nem todos são trapaceiros. Tem muito jogador que dá o sangue para jogar isso, e eu sou um deles.
Ok. Ele falou que acha muito legal. He said that he thinks that's really cool to see people like aiming this light to the Brazilian community. And he said that we have really good players here, and that it's really nice that that people start to give some value to the Brazilian community, and it's really nice to see people interested in our scenario, even with all this difficulty, like even with all this tough mess that we have to go through.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I didn't know about how hard it was to get cards, and that's honestly like I feel like hopefully people watch this later, listen to it on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
What we'll end up doing is we'll end up making this like a little mini episode separate, and that way it can get its own eyes on it, and hopefully more people higher up at Pokemon and Copag that run everything there for you guys like can hear the struggles and like the disparity between like a North American event versus a Latin American event versus a European event versus on Oceania event. Because you're not on a level playing field with the rest of the world, and it's super unfair then.
I want to say for the fact that you guys are 100% correct. Brazilians are great players. You guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
I run into Ricardo quite often, and I see him topping in a lot of different tournaments. And like you say, they fill up a lot of tournaments around Limitless and everything like that. The fact that they're this good and this talented and they're this skilled, and they're at the disadvantage of getting building a Mew deck, so you'd have to go with Rapid Strike, and they still play that very well. That goes to say that you guys are good players.
Yeah, tá dizendo aqui, o Todd, que ele concorda com o fato de a gente ter bons jogadores justamente pelo diferencial dos decks que toparam. Ele até citou o deck do Ian, do Shifu Rapid Strike com Lithium. Acredito que foi isso que ele disse ali. E o Stubben falou antes sobre talvez cortar um pedaço aqui, sobre a gente falando sobre como é aqui no Brasil, a dificuldade que é para montar um deck, para que a gente possa expor isso para outras pessoas, né? Que talvez isso chegue de repente a quem importa, né? Tipo, os chefões,
Que é que,
as figuras
que
centrais
fique. Pode
na
continuar.
Pokémon Company ou na Copag, para que talvez comece a ter um início de alguma mudança, né?
A gente tem que torcer para que, na verdade, fique até um conselho para que eles chamem mais pessoas, mais jogadores brasileiros muito bons que a gente tem hoje em dia, para participarem desses tipos de podcast, que é muito bom, para vocês verem não só a minha visão como jogador, mas ver a visão de vários jogadores brasileiros que passam por essa mesma dificuldade.
Okay. Todd just said that if he could ask for something, it would be really nice to have other Brazilian players here to give their sense, like their opinions about how the community works and how are our difficulties here in Brazil about the game. So it would be really nice to have more Brazilian players here, so people could know more about the Brazilian community.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like how nobody stood up against PTCGL until Mahone did, I feel like you guys could lead the front of standing up to Copag and TBCI for the benefit of Brazilian players.
Hey, this might be the video. This might be the interview that does it. This could actually help. So
Translate?
That's it? That's it, Gazer?
yeah.
Okay, so what should I tell Todd? I thank him for his participation.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you being here, even with the language barrier. Thank you, IO, for helping out. Thanks for showing us how difficult it really is to actually be a Brazilian Pokemon player.
Yeah,
I mean, we brought you on to talk about the tournament, but the topics like completely changed, and now we all kind of see a different side of how it is, and it's this is definitely different than what I anticipated this conversation to go.
Yeah.
For sure.
I thought it'd be about Mew, 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 but we learned some stuff. Learned a lot. Interesting.
O Stubben quis agradecer aqui pela sua participação, ô Todd, e por você jogar uma luz sobre algumas questões relacionadas à comunidade brasileira. Ele disse que foi bem interessante a sua participação e saber um pouco mais sobre a comunidade no geral, aqui no Brasil.
Tá, eu agradeço ambos pela presença e principalmente diga para eles que eu gostaria realmente de voltar novamente para a gente poder falar sobre o jogo, né? Porque a gente ficou conversando sobre outras questões e acabou que a gente acabou se distanciando do regional, né?
Yeah,
Mas agradeço.
Todd just wants to say thank you for inviting him to this episode, and he said that if possible, he wanted to participate in another one, so he could talk more about the game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back. Yeah. Oh yeah. I would love to dive more into it. For sure.
In other topics, so
yeah, I feel like
he lost a bit of the trail.
No, tell Ricardo. I feel like he could be the guy. You know, the fact that he topped in that regional. You know, runner up. He could be the guy to make this a well-known, a known problem. Let it be known.
O Kiri está dizendo que por você ter feito o top 2 ali no torneio do regional, no regional de São Paulo, talvez você possa ser o cara que traga esse problema, traga uma luz, né, esse problema aí para a comunidade, né, para que outras pessoas fiquem sabendo. E o Stubben falou que toparia sim que você estivesse aqui, porque ele gostaria de saber mais sobre as partidas, sobre o jogo, os jogos e tal.
Não, sim. Falar pra ele que com certeza eu gostaria de estar aqui e pra gente até discutir sobre os próximos regionais, principalmente porque o regional de Joinville e o regional de Indianápolis são no mesmo dia. Então a gente vai ter tanto Joinville aqui no Brasil quanto Indianápolis para eles. Então são 2 regionais.
Okay, so he said that if you guys want to, you could invite him after Indianapolis regionals or before, I don't know, and after Joinville regionals that happens here in Brazil in
Ooh.
May. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Same day.
Yeah, it happens at the
Yep.
same day.
So yeah, definitely I would like to talk with you again, Todd and Io. Last thing, and we'll let you guys get out of here. Io, ask Todd if he remembers that like 2 weeks ago I beat him in an online tournament. So just ask me if he remembers that. Just
Ok, Todd, o Geyser pediu pra te perguntar se você lembra da surra que ele te deu num torneio umas 2 semanas atrás.
Ai, 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 eu lembro. Ai, ai, I just remember. Oh my god. I remember.
No,
Eu lembro sim.
Ricardo, Mr. Toddy, thank you. Io, thank you guys so much, man. We appreciate this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.